Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. This is 7 reasons why Manchester United lost at home 2-1 to bottom place Sheffield United in the Premier League. Number 1, the first reason, defensive shambles. It's been a bit of a sort of theme this season that United have looked vulnerable in defence, and we saw it against Sheffield United. Now, for the first goal, you can argue it was a set piece. Well, it was a set piece, no argument about it. You can argue the referee maybe should have blown his whistle, and there was a foul by Billy Sharp on David De Gea. But the second goal, there's not really any excuses. It was a bit of a mix-up stroke comedy of errors that led to the second Sheffield United goal. David De Gea doesn't really clear it. Harry Maguire, you might argue, maybe he could have done better than being overly harsh. Alex Telles, does he get close enough to his man? He almost gets a warning sign, doesn't get close to him, and then he gets his shot off. Axel Tuanzebe, did he do a lot wrong in trying to block the shot? Perhaps, perhaps not. But anyway you look at it, it wasn't good enough. It was a defensive shambles against a team that seldom scores more than one goal, if one goal at all, per game in the Premier League. So, not good enough. A defensive shambles that has ended up costing Manchester United points, vital points, if we have any aspirations of winning title number 21 this season. Number 2, the second reason why Manchester United lost at home to Sheffield United in the Premier League was we couldn't create enough chances. Yes, we had chances. We had shots from outside the box. We had a couple of half chances inside the box. But how many actual clear-cut chances did we create? How many times did we test the goalkeeper for Sheffield United, Ramsdale? Barely any. We barely tested him, and he's not a goalkeeper who actually fills me with much confidence. If I was a Sheffield United fan, I'd be looking at him going, he's a liability. But we didn't show that. We didn't really get much opportunities there for our strikers, more on them later, to get at the Sheffield United goalkeeper, to get in behind the defence and create clear-cut chances. We had a lot of long-range shots, sort of half chances, if you will, or chances that weren't quite clear-cut enough to really test the goalkeeper, and that isn't good enough. When Manchester United go up against a team that is cut adrift at the bottom of the table, you expect us to absolutely hammer their goal with non-stop shots, and that just didn't happen. The third reason why Manchester United lost at home to Sheffield United was we were far too casual. This felt like a training game. It felt like United were 3-0 up at times, even when we were behind, when we were chasing the game, even when we were chasing the game and the time was running out. I never got that sense of urgency from Manchester United. I never felt the tempo was right. It was just like a bit all sort of la-di-da, like we're having a bit of a kick about in the park, not chasing 3 vital points in a game that could help some way to deciding where the title goes this season. Okay, maybe I'm being a little bit melodramatic, but these points do matter. And who knows where we're going to end up at the season. If United end up finishing second, 3 points behind the winners, you'll be looking at this game as a massive opportunity missed. So you can't just say, oh, well, it doesn't really matter or it's not as important as that. It is important. Every game is vital, especially this season where you look at where Manchester United are and where the teams around us are as well. And to drop points in the manner we did with a performance that just wasn't urgent enough. Now, I'm one of the last people that usually criticises players at Manchester United for not having enough effort, not having enough urgency, not having a quick enough tempo. I don't think that's a criticism that can often be levelled at these players, but it certainly was against Sheffield United. Going into that game, yes, we were confident. Going behind, you still fancy us to get the goals and to get back in the game. And obviously, we did get the equaliser. But even so, we should be getting at them. There should be that tempo. And you can't just keep saying, well, there isn't a crowd there. I've made that excuse myself. I've done these videos where I've done one of the reasons why we lost or didn't get the win we wanted was because of no crowd. But you can't keep pointing the finger at the lack of atmosphere at Old Trafford because Sheffield United are a bottom place team. Manchester United going into this game would have gone top had we won. So the gulf is massive and we should have been getting at him from the start. From the very first kickoff, we should have got him. The very first kickoff, there's only one kickoff. From the kickoff, we should have got him and we just didn't. We played like we were winning and we weren't and we didn't. The fourth reason why Manchester United lost at home to Sheffield United was the attacking merry-go-round we had. Listen, where do you start with our attack? It just felt like the complete opposite of the Liverpool game. Marcus Rashford didn't have a good game. Edison Cavani wasn't as effective when he came on and a lot of the finger pointing was being done at Anthony Martial. Now, Anthony Martial is out of form. I get that. He isn't having a good enough season. I'm a big Martial fan and he does need to step up. But it wasn't just him. It was just a collective attacking merry-go-round. The reason I use the word merry-go-round is because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he made a substitution that sort of baffled me a little bit, if I'm being brutally honest. He took off Mason Greenwood. Now, regardless of how well or poorly Mason Greenwood was playing, he's still likely to get you a goal out of nothing. He's the sort of person who can sometimes thrive off half a chance and create a goal or get a goal out of it. So to take him off, then move Marcus Rashford over to the right, which isn't his preferred performance. And let's face facts, if Marcus Rashford isn't playing great on the left in a game. Moving him to the right isn't going to help him. Then you move Anthony Martial over to the left, who wasn't having a great game, and then you put Edinson Cavani in the middle. Now, the only one who's sort of playing in his preferred position there is Edinson Cavani. You've taken off an attacking threat in Mason Greenwood, and you've left on Anthony Martial, who probably needed to come off for his own good because he isn't having, like I said, the best of seasons. And unlike Marcus, who when he has a bad game can produce something, it's not really been happening for Tony M. So it didn't make any sense, this managerial, this attacking merry-go-round that we went through. The strikers weren't striking, they weren't performing, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't help matters with the substitution that he made, especially the attacking one anyway. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why we ended up leaving Old Trafford with no points. The fifth reason United lost at home to Sheffield United, the officials. Now, I'm not one to cry about referees and VAR and all the rest of it, especially when we've lost at home to the bottom-placed team in the Premier League. There are no excuses, but that's not to deny that it's one of the reasons we lost. For me, I might be being a bit naive or a bit harsh or whatever you want to call it. When they scored, Sheffield United scored that opener, I thought it was a goal. I looked at it straight away, I thought that's a goal. I thought David De Gea should have done better, and I felt the reaction from the Manchester United players indicated to me it was a goal because they didn't really kick off about it. They didn't really start shouting and ranting at the referee and running up saying, well, what the hell are you doing? That's a foul on David De Gea. Now, in the replays, it looks like there may have been a bit of a foul there. It's soft, but it's one of those where in the world of VAR probably gets given. So maybe we're a bit hard done by, but we was definitely hard done by for the disallowed goal. Anthony Martial puts the ball in the back of the net after Harry Maguire more or less just jumped in front of the Sheffield United keeper. And the referee gives a foul. Ridiculous decision. Shouldn't give a foul. I know it's because he's blew his whistle that VAR couldn't look at it. Shouldn't have blown his whistle. Mish Moneypenny. Shouldn't have blew it. Anthony Martial gets his goal. He's back on form. United are back in the game early doors, and hopefully we kick on and get the win. So, you know, it's all ifs and buts and maybes, and, you know, that might not have happened at all because we even did get an equaliser later on. It didn't stop us losing. But the standard of officiating today wasn't great. It wasn't good enough, in my humble opinion. And that's one of the reasons why we lost at home to Sheffield United. The sixth reason we lost was because of officiating. No, I've done that wrong. I've just said officiating. The sixth reason we lost was because a lack of width. I just feel like United are just lacking something down the flanks. We have always been a club that is renowned and built upon great attacking wing play. And now we seem to have sort of forgone wingers. Anthony Martial or Marcus Rashford or even Dan James or whoever's playing out wide, they're not wingers, are they? The players that like you could class as inside forwards, they like to cut in, they like to attack from the flanks. Mason Greenwood's another one. He's not looking to get down that line and get chalk on his boots and whipping across, is he? He's looking to get more directly towards the goal and get his shot off. So we've never had like wingers over the last year or so. But we do have fullbacks that like to get forward. Alex Tellers was supposedly brought in because he likes to get forward. Now, I'm not finger pointing at Alex Tellers because I thought he did get forward quite a lot, you know, and I think we know what he can do with that left foot. But for me, far too often he just sort of pinged a ball in. It wasn't really picking out a player. And also, we didn't have enough of that play from the wings. Aaron Wan-Bissaka struggles sometimes going forward. Alex Tellez wasn't getting the support he needed from a winger going forward as well. So there just wasn't that sort of attacking play coming from out wide, which we needed. We should have been getting out the Sheffield United fullbacks, and we just weren't, and that is a massive disappointment and one of the reasons why we lost at home to him. The seventh reason that we lost against Sheffield United in the Premier League is because it's been coming. Listen, we can sit here and we can look at our record and we can look at the table and look at where we were going into this game and pretend that everything is rosy. But if we're being brutally honest, it isn't. We've had some poor performances lately. Sort of post-Leeds United, we've been a bit patchy and we've sort of rode our luck a little bit. And I know no one wants to hear anything about luck and fortune and those sorts of things, but some of the performances by Manchester United haven't been vintage. They haven't been sort of 9 or 10 out of 10 performances. We've been over-reliant on moments of brilliance to get us out of jail once too often. And when you scratch beneath the surface, you can actually say, there's been games where Manchester United have got away with it a little bit, where our performances haven't been good enough to get the win, but we've managed to get one anyway because Paul Pogba or Marcus Rashford or Bruno Fernandes have done a little bit of moment of magic to help win the game. And tonight was the bit where our luck run out, and it sort of showed because it's been coming. As I said earlier, it was on the horizon, a performance that matched some of our previously poor performances, could get us unstuck. Now, this was poorer by Manchester United than we've seen in previous games, but it was one of several below par performances, and it's the one we didn't get away with, and that's one of the reasons that we lost. So that's been 7 reasons that we lost at home to Sheffield United, but as a famous Slippy Scouser once said, we go again. We've got Arsenal at the weekend, and if we get a win there, everyone will feel a lot better, but at the moment it just feels a little bit disappointing, doesn't it? Losing at home to the bottom place team when we've got title winning aspirations just ain't good enough. those are the 7 reasons why I think it happened. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think. What were the reasons why we lost at home to Sheffield United? And also, what can we do to rectify it? If you're not, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. I've been Jay. Thanks for watching.